Okay, let's hop on over to the NBA. Would you give me that NBA sting?
This is Adam Silver.
What was that?
Well, we're going to lead into your next topic, obviously, where you talk about how...
This is Adam Silver.
Wait, what? What's going on?
What?
I'm going to talk.
Trying to change the stings up for you a little bit
That
here.
was great.
Now,
Can I get it one more time? Is that all right?
yeah, sure.
This is Adam Silver.
Okay. I'm just so confused. Is Adam Silver driving a tugboat? Why is he saying his name like that? Oh, sorry. I know it's you saying this is Adam Silver.
It's great.
Yeah.
But is the idea that, like, is this a Thomas the Tank Engine reference? I don't get it.
He's
He's the big commish. He's the big shot.
He's the big commish. We're talking about the NBA at large here. And he's the one that is driving the cartoon truck.
Okay, I mean, Jess isn't mad, and you seem to impress Ian.
I like
so,
it. I like it.
I mean, whatever.
Silver's cool. He would probably like that.
Yeah. The last sound of that just a bit grating. It's a tugboat.
I'll take it. Whatever.
Okay, cool. Sorry, maybe I'm just angry, everybody. So let's talk about the sophomores. So I thought it'd be funny. Everyone's always kind of like surmising, or not surmising, wrong word. Everyone's trying to predict Rookie of the Year, MVP, all these different awards. But I was thinking it'd be fun if we each made a pick or just talked about some of these sophomores. Not in the 2017 draft class is Ben Simmons, but I think for the sake of this conversation, we can kind of include it. I'll bring it up here, and you know what? I'm just going to rattle off some of the high draft picks, just to give people a refresher. If you're listening at home and you're trying to think who's a part of what class. So yeah, you got first overall is Fultz, second Ball. Then we got Tatum, Josh Jackson, De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox is doing good.
He's doing great. Jonathan Isaac, Lauri Markkanen, Nikola Tina for New York's doing okay. Dennis Smith Jr., Zach Collins, Donovan Mitchell at 13. No one else is really, I was cruising down the list and no one's really jumping out. Obviously, our guy, Anunoby, 23rd. And Josh Hart and Derek White, I think, are important to their teams, but I wouldn't really be in the running, I think, for a Sophomore of the Year award. Yeah, Ian, let's start with you. If you had to pick the Sophomore of the Year, who's it going to be
This year?
This year?
That's a good question. I mean, you've got Tatum, who's slumping a little bit. He's not playing. I mean, people key onto him, and but Boston's going to play better.
Yeah,
I think
it's obviously 1/3 into the season. Because like a guy like Lauri Markkanen, if that's who you think, if he's going to come in and just tear it up in Chicago, that's a fair answer, I think.
Yeah, it is a fair answer, and he's an amazing shooter. That guy's crazy from three. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's Finnish, which is hilarious. Like, how's that even happen? But I would still say Tatum, just because he's probably gets the biggest opportunity. He's the best player, and all those guys probably, and he's in the best system. I like him over Mitchell. I think Mitchell's game is he's got to get to the hole to get points, and guys can, they can stuff him and force him outside. Whereas Tatum is pretty good 3-point shooter, and he's going to get better, and he's got a little turnaround game, and he's got a little post-up action. He's an
elite defender.
Yeah,
right?
You know what I mean?
Him and Ben Simmons, I think. I don't know if there's anyone else I'm missing, but those are the guys to me that jump out as like they're elite defenders. Sorry,
I'm not ready. No, it's fine. I'm not ready to give up on Fultz yet. I think that he could still have a good career. Who knows? I mean, he's got to land in the right system and everything.
Yeah.
And I think that Ball is a great. If you watch the Lakers games, his stats aren't jumping out because they're deep and they have LeBron. LeBron's LeBron. But like, he makes good basketball plays most of the time. He's a little goofy, but stuff like that you can fix with coaching. He's got good instincts for the game, and he can be a guy who averages, is their starting point guard and averages double-digit assists for them. And if he learns how to shoot or whatever, or gets his offensive game, he's never going to give you like 25 points a game or anything. But like, he's definitely a good basketball player. I think he'll have a good career. He's actually probably a good rebounding point guard too, which is funny because they have Rondo. So if they can kind of work together a little bit, I don't know. I just think that Lonzo, people always shit on him because of his dad. I think that he still has that stench to him. But if he can get it off, honestly, like he's a good player. And he's in a good system.
Reputation in the NBA is massive.
Yeah.
You can be undervalued just because of a reputation or character flaw, and you can be overvalued for the same thing.
Listen,
I think
there's so many
he falls
stars.
into the undervalued category. I think like for sure. Most people would even agree that he's the type of guy that gets ripped on a bit more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Than he actually.
For sure he does.
He
walks
is quite.
Right into it's
Exactly.
But in fairness, he's on a good team for that.
Giving it to him.
The Lakers are going to support him and LeBron and everything else. So I think he's in a good situation for himself career-wise, and I think he'll end up being pretty good.
Let me throw this guy out. Jared Allen. I think he was drafted. Where do I have him here? He was 30th. No, he was drafted in the first round. Where was he here? He was drafted 22nd overall by
Jared
the Nets.
Allen.
Yeah, he's their big center. He's the guy who's.
What college did he go to?
He went to Washington.
Interesting.
He's always impressed me.
Sorry, he was a Texas freshman. Yeah, he's pretty mobile.
Last year he was good too.
Totally.
Yeah.
And he can block shots.
Yeah.
Also, he kind of looks like a 2K character.
Yeah.
He's got that huge
Yeah.
afro and he's like 7 feet tall.
What's funny is sometimes you just get that player, a guy who fits in the system, and he's gonna work and things work for his career. There's so many dudes like that in those late picks where it's like, if they're in the right group of guys and he gets playing time and he plays well, he'll have a good career. It's funny because the separation between those types of players usually at that draft pick, unless there's a steal, they're all pretty close. So they can just fall off and be bench players, but he looks like he can actually play. Yeah.
Yeah. He plays unafraid too.
He does.
I'm like,
yeah.
I respect his game.
So if you had to pick a sophomore of the year right now, do you think is Fox maybe the guy? Is it Ben Simmons? Is it Tatum? You're kind of Tatum,
I'm
right?
really
Ian?
not
I would say
impressed
so.
with a lot of them. I have to be. I'm just like.
I actually thought of this segment because of sophomore slumps.
I just this year
They're
I'm
out
like.
there.
I agree, Tatum, just because it's like he has all he's got all
He's the least
opportunities
flaws.
there.
Yeah, he's the most polished player.
Yeah, he is, and he's like playing for one of the best teams. Like it's easy for him.
I think.
to get out of it.
I think Malik Monk might be a good player too. He was. I
Yeah,
don't know. But
he's solid.
is he on Charlotte?
He's on Charlotte. Yeah.
Charlotte is like a bit of a tar pit of sadness and shame for
it's
players.
so many good
Kemba
players.
is
It's
so
such a
good, but
waste.
Charlotte, I feel like they really do get guys, and that's where careers go to die in a way.
Yeah. No,
if Malik Monk can get out of there, who knows?
It's definitely an NBA like burial ground.
It's terrible. Why does Kemba? He's like, I want to stay here. Why, please?
Yeah. I know it's hard to tell if he's saying that because he kind
Just
of
being a pro, yeah. And his agent's probably like, always say you want to stay where you are.
So for me, I kind of hate saying this, but I feel like it's actually like just by a little bit. But I would say Ben Simmons.
Yeah, if he's
know.
in there.
I know, because I just think his defense is so good, and it's weird because as a Raptors fan, it's like he sees Kawhi and like just you can see the terror in his face. But I've watched some other Philly games where he's not playing Kawhi, and he definitely looks quite a bit better when he's not.
He can't shoot.
He can't. I know,
You can't.
I know.
The thing is, though, is
Can't.
I know. It's weird. It's weird that a player can do so much with such a massive flaw. But
which is
he can
great.
learn how
It
to
means
shoot.
that
It's odd.
exactly. If he could learn how to shoot, he would be unstoppable.
Yeah.
It's just like I just get really angry when people are like, "Oh no, Philly's such a contender." No, they're really not. They're very good,
Yeah.
but you're one of your best
I agree.
players on the team can't not be able to shoot.
I think for me, until proven otherwise, Boston and Philly are not in the category of Milwaukee and Toronto.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Boston,
I think
sure we'll get there.
For sure.
But Philly, I'm just no.
Philly, you're gonna have to have some really good pickups.
Yeah, if they
or
can
trades or
get
something,
some more some new dudes in there, like when the trades happen.
And even when they do that, there's going to be some chemistry kind of,
Embiid is already like, I'm pissed off with how I'm being used now that Butler's here. Like I'm just like, I don't know. There's so many egos.
Yeah.
Simmons is weird though.
No, I agree.
I'm just like, no, you don't have my vote.
I've genuinely, since the summer, and this is probably because I'm, at least a bit of a maniac, been just so offended that Philly was in people's like tier. The same tier as Toronto. To me, that was like so. I like it. Genuinely feels like we're watching a different sport.
Like because Philly plays Boston, and they're like, "Is this a finals matchup?" Like, no, get real, ESPN. Like, I know that you're trying to like put a banner on the television, but like, no,
I'm not just a homer. Because even over the summer, as much as I hate Boston, I feel like I always gave them the credit of saying it was them in Toronto.
They're excellent.
I had it as 1 and 1A. I think that's changed because of the problems that Boston has had and, how well Kawhi has played. And also Milwaukee just being like, screw you, Freddie, for not talking about me. Because I know they listen, all of them, to my pod. So
I think, it's Philly is... They're not there because their stars are too young. Yeah. If you look at it, if Harden and Durant and Westbrook can't win when they're 22, then these guys can't either.
Yeah.
There's never any NBA team who's really won a championship with two young stars as anchors.
I admire their moxie, but
Penny and Shaq, they didn't lose in the finals. They actually won a championship. Go back and look.
Yeah.
No, sorry. That was such a weird confrontational joke.
Yeah. But it's funny. It just seems like it's not going to be.
That's for sure. I think. I think there's definitely like loads of failure, and you don't see a young.
But they're great players. Those guys.
They're great.
But how old was Michael Jordan?
Keep trusting the process.
28,
27 or something. 28 when he won his
first ring.
Generally, that's
LeBron.
LeBron, same age.
Maybe Kobe.
Yeah, actually. But Kobe wasn't. I think Kobe was younger, but he had prime Shaq. Yeah. He had Shaq 34 and 16 in the finals. And it still
probably took him till his 6th season or something.
And technically, I think that was one of the years where Sacramento damn well should have been there. It was notorious.
I do have the person that breaks this rule.
Who?
Tim Duncan.
Timmy D, yeah.
And because he came in, was
and
good enough,
amazing.
Changed everything immediately.
Didn't he win his rookie year? He might have won a title. Or a second year. Because they had David Robinson. Remember they had the Twin Towers? I think they were insane.
I think they won the ring on their second year.
And Sean Elliott and everybody else.
But he did come in and just start winning right away.
That is right.
Also was like the reason for it.
But young duos, it's hard.
Because David Robinson was old.
And everything. Yeah, David Robinson was a vet.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
If I think of it, another exception to the rule, I'll bust it out. But Jess had a good idea for a fun little segment. Dirty players and people who do shitty things. I didn't really know this about this guy. Jess, I'll let you kind of preface this. Who's the player you want to talk about being like a dangerous bastard, I guess?
LaMarcus Aldridge.
LaMarcus Aldridge. I had noticed this before.
I had never noticed it either until this guy on YouTube that I watch. Yeah. His name is Zach Lee, and his YouTube is SDC. Anyways, he
always a good place to start.
He really is like, he's like a quick 12 minutes, blah, blah, blah. Here's last night's games. Here's some facts, yada, yada. So today he was talking about it and I was like, what? This doesn't make sense. But it really does make sense. The footage backs it up.
Nice.
He does it constantly. But he's like slipped. I don't know. Maybe because he's like just like a gentle giant. And
so he throws his feet under people when they're rebounding or shooting or kind of just all
constantly. If they're like coming down from a jump, he's like
messing with their landing.
Yeah, I'll look over here, but I really did look over there. I'll look over here, but my foot's over here. It's like I don't know. I
to me, the height of that,
I've never noticed it. That's the thing. I'm like, wow, he's really like sneaking it in there. So I don't know if I'm a ref on the floor, maybe I don't see that unless the player falls or says something. But he does it.
I'll never forget.
I'm on to him now.
Oh yeah, I'm on to him too. I'm gonna be looking at him a lot. I was gonna say like the person, the guy that jumps out to me, who I think he has the reputation as like an outspoken kind of like, you know, like hothead of a guy, but I also think he is dirty on a regular basis, and that's Draymond Green.
Oh, he is.
Oh,
For me-
absolutely.
For me, that like I've heard like serious analysts I like genuinely be fooled by when he flailed his arms and karate kicked Steve Adams
that
in
was
the nuts.
insane.
They genuinely were like, "Oh, he was like selling the foul," and I'm like, "You don't like
Nobody.
It was a
flies through
karate
the air
kick.
like that.
Like
there
you
was a
don't."
time when he did that about 3 or 4 times in
Yeah.
a short span, where the first time they were like, he might have accidentally just kicked that man in the nutsack.
Yeah.
But then after, you're like, no,
That's
wait a
like,
second.
it's his move.
100% intentionally kicked him in the balls.
Yeah.
You know?
We got
dirty, man.
Pat Beverly, right?
Patty B, yeah.
He's hurt people.
He's
Yeah.
an aggressive guy. He's just insane. He's
Rondo, too.
Rondo is a good one.
Deli-
what about Wade?
Dellavedova.
Remember when Wade held onto Rondo's arm and broke it?
Oh, yeah.
You also got Kelly Olynyk.
Olynyk.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
he did the old break on love.
That's right.
Yeah. He's like a long, flimsy, like dirty player, too.
Yeah.
And you know who is not, maybe not dirty in terms of dirty moves, but is like DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he does some
He's
shit.
pretty dirty.
Yeah, he, you
And
know-
he's just an antagonizer and
Yeah.
get in your face.
he pretended like he was gonna punch.
I'm gonna pretend that I didn't
Jonas
even,
in the head?
I'm gonna say his name because I don't want him to ever play in the NBA again, especially
Wait,
this
who?
year. Cousins, if he could sit
Oh,
out
yeah.
this year and then just get, give us a buzz in 2019, 2020,
Yeah,
and he can go ahead and play for
the Raptors.
or honestly, if
You're like, no.
if he wants to play for the Cavs or if he wants to play for someone like that or the Kings, go back there.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't, just go away.
yeah, okay, fair.
I'm
I mean,
sorry, DeMarcus.
no,
I just-
no. This is actually like Ian's not angry right now. He's kind of sad. So
I am sad.
something went down.
Yeah,
No,
something
I'm
happened.
just
Fair
not,
enough.
I'm not looking forward to him coming
To each
back
their
and playing
own.
for Gold State. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
just
really
feel
not
like he's
looking for that.
unnecessary to the
Me too.
team. Like, it's just like, why?
I feel like
What's
he's
the
gonna-
point?
Because he'll play in their second unit, and then you will not be able to stop their second unit.
Oh man,
No, man.
I know. I
it
think
could go either way.
Jess, I'm with you because I
Yeah.
feel like he can't defend. He's a good passer.
He's not that fast.
Yeah, he's not a good shooter. They're going to try and integrate him. They're not going to have enough time. It's going to be a distraction. Then they're going to try and de-integrate
Fair
him.
enough.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it's going to be the playoffs and all these really good teams are making them sweat. I'm really just telling myself this story.
Fair enough. I
And
like
then-
the positivity.
and then-
PMA.
And I'll have you back on the podcast when the Warriors are undefeated in the playoffs.
No,
And,
I'd love to eat crow and he blows up their team and Durant leaves. Like I would love it. I don't like that team. I hate
I'm just trying to back up my ludicrous claim.
No, you know what? There's some sense
Which
to it.
is that
you're
Durant-
not wrong.
Is only going to the Durant Warriors are only going to win 2 championships. So I said that before.
Okay.
As soon as
enough.
Durant signed, I had almost no real reason to say that beyond being a stubborn person.
I just think like if your backup center is DeMarcus Cousins, that's a problem.
yeah, it's a trouble for the rest of the league for sure.
Who the hell's gonna guard him, man?